Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
Getting new prospects and new players on your favorite team is always fun. And, we all fall in love with, the whole potential debate. You could have all the skills and all the measurables and all the things in the world, but at some point, you got to put pen to paper. At some point, you've got to do it on the football field so that we can see, hey, this is why we were excited about this player. This is what he brings to the team and all those things. Well, we get to number 28 on this list, and I'm going to be the first to admit we're a little high on Robert Beal Jr. RJ is sophomore year edge rusher out of Georgia. He's got all the speed and size and strength and muscle, and he's jacked and all those things. Just hasn't put it together yet. And a lot of that, he missed his rookie year with a hamstring injury, didn't get, activated until late November. So he didn't get a lot of practice time, all that stuff. Played in every single postseason game, including the Super Bowl. Didn't really do much. And now we're in training camp now, and it's man, where is this dude? Why is he not popping off? Why are we not seeing, what happens whenever Robert Beal is turned loose? And it's kind of his first training camp because he missed almost all of the padded training camp last year. And it's just man, you know what? Perhaps we're a little early on this Robert Beal hype train, which stinks because, with the Drake Jackson news, he's not even going to be playing at all during training camp. It's man, somebody's got to step up and be that number 4, number 5 defensive end. And Robert Beal Jr. hasn't shown it yet through training camp. Now, preseason games are right around the corner. Maybe that will change some things, and maybe we can finally see, all right, here it is. But Robert Beal Jr., he came in 36 last year, and the momentum never happened because he got that hamstring injury in training camp. I remember he got hurt the day before we went full pads because I was at training camp the day we went full pads. I was like, where is Robert Beal Jr.? And so we're looking around and where is he? He's not out here. And not only is he not in pads, we can't find him. And so it was just we didn't know what happened. And then day 2 happens. We didn't get an update. And then finally, he's got a hamstring injury. He's going to be out for a while. That while turned out to be 5 months. It was a long, long while that he was out. So shout out to Josh. This is Josh's guy. He liked Robert Beal Jr. when we did our draft work of him last year before he was drafted. We did a lot of film breakdowns on him, and if you want to see him, the 49ersrush.com is about the only place because he doesn't have much tape in the NFL. Fun player, played at Georgia, 6'4", 250. 34 and 5/8 inch arms. So you're talking, he has longer arms than Colton McKivitz does by a full inch. He has NFL left tackle arm length, which is just crazy. So 6'4", 250. He's 24 years old now. Ran a 4.47 40-yard dash. That's fast. That's fast for any position in the NFL. Wide receiver, corner, it doesn't matter. That's fast. You talk about defensive end, that puts him in the 98th percentile. That is quick. Didn't do the 3 code, and I think I know why. After finally seeing him in training camp this year, he ain't shifty. He ain't changing direction. He is tight-hipped. The bend, not really his thing, which, again, kind of makes sense whenever you see where he was drafted. Back into the 5th round. I mean, this dude was basically a 6th-round pick. It was a compensation pick at the back end of the 5th round. He's got straight line speed. He's got length. He's got strength. But can he add some of the nuance to, get around the corner? That's the question. I was watching him run the hoops just yesterday at camp, and I was like, that's not good. They put the 2 hula hoops out there. They do this in the combine drill, and you run the figure 8. And the whole time I was like, that was really bad. Now, he's straight line speed. He's jacked. He's huge. He's long. He's got all those things. But there's some issues. And so the fact that, we're going through training camp right now, and it's man, I'm looking for some type of splash play. You can't hit the quarterback, can't get sacks, and that's really his MO, right? But, he's going against Jalen Moore, Colton McKivitz, Sam Hubbard, all these guys. It's not like he's going against Trent Williams. So the preseason is going to be as important to Robert Beal Jr. as almost anybody because the 49ers have no defensive end depth, especially with Drake Jackson. They got 3 defensive ends they can count on. That's it. Somebody got to step up. Now, let's go back to right after the 49ers drafted Robert Beal Jr. Here's John Lynch just talking about what they loved about him.
Yeah, Beal's a really, really gifted athlete. I want to you rely a lot on relationships in this thing, and Kirby Smart's been good to us. He's got a lot of players. Kirby was a safety, and we kind of bonded over that. But Kirby said someone's going to get a really gifted and talented player if they just let this guy hunt QBs and set edges. And when he said that, that's exactly what we do. He's not really good at going back and all that stuff. He could do it, but what Kirby said there really resonated. Our eyes saw the same thing. Ran a 4.47 so he adds speed. He's in the 6'3", range, but he's got 34 and 5-inch, so he's got that length you look for.
GTFO.
That's right. Our analytics, see if anyone can guess. We have I tell our analytics guys all the time, Plonsky and his crew, go watch the coaches, get in there, and let's come up with measurables that are what we coach. And GTFO is something Chris Kasarik is always screaming. You guys know what it is? Yeah. Okay. So he had the highest GTFO grade in the draft. So we're really fired up about that.
And so again, if you're measuring jumping out of your stance, getting upfield, right, get the F out, right, that's what that is. He's got it. But the other stuff we've got to see. And so you talk about the potential and what he's got it. But you have to kind of reset the timeline, sadly, because he didn't practice at all last year. He got activated late November for the playoff push. He had 2 weeks of practice, and, he was getting like 4 snaps a game. That was about it. I think he had 8 snaps in the Super Bowl. Because that went to overtime, so just to, try to keep some players fresh. This is his first real practice development time in the NFL. And so what we expected last year, you almost have to, carbon copy, cut, paste over here. That's where we should have been this year. Now, he's going to get the opportunity because the depth's not there in front of him. Now, let's backtrack. Let's go through his journey. Georgia boy, and transferred a lot of high schools. Went to Norcross High School. What's up? Used to live out there. Transferred to IMG Academy. Then transferred again to Peachtree Ridge High School. Was a 5-star recruit. Went to Georgia. Graduated with the Learning, Design, and Technology degree. And, he was huge. Number 27 player nationally. 5-star recruit on ESPN. Whatever metric you want to look at. Like, he was that guy. He was an absolute stud. Part of 2 college football championship teams at Georgia, 2021 and 23. Now, he was a rotational piece. Nolan Smith, who was drafted in the first round to the Philadelphia Eagles, was ahead of him pretty much their whole career. He was the backup. And so you're getting those same traits, athleticism, whatever, but with a lot less production. Now, here's the deal. And again, the injury totally hurt him. It never got 1 day full pads, still raw. And so that development, the hamstring injury that caused him to miss almost all of last year, is he worse off than when we drafted him? Is he back better? We don't know these things. He had 79 snaps last year. 79, 39 on the defensive side, 40 on special teams. And I think special teams is kind of where he's going to make this roster. I do think he's going to make this roster. Now, if I was redoing these rankings, would I put Robert Beal Jr. at 28? I would not. I think 40, 45 is probably where he should be. I understand the positional value need at defensive end, but we'll see. Now, he packed on a lot of muscle this offseason, but again, I'm trying to balance this conversation. Let's cut to last year, right after the 53-man roster was set. This is John Lynch announcing that Robert Beal Jr. is going to go on IR and kind of why and what they're hoping for.
I really like the group. For you guys to know, we announced I think Kyle talked about Danny Gray going to IR. Robert Beal will as well. He's coming off a hamstring that he re-injured. we thought the best thing for Robert, he's a guy we really like and are excited to work for, but we got to get that thing right. And he qualified for the short term. He had to make our 53. He's a guy who showed a lot, and we're thrilled about the prospect of working with him going forward. But we got to get him back so that he's ready. So we'll go through that process. Drake Jackson has had a tremendous offseason.
I kept that last clip in there. You got Danny Gray, you got Drake Jackson, you got Robert Beal Jr. Those are groups of names you don't want to be involved in. But that's where he is. And, he's healthy now, and hopefully he can stack some good days and, catch on and all those things. But you look, last year, didn't play a lot. 5 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 quarterback hit, 1 sack. That sack came in Week 18, the meaningless game against the Rams. He sacked Carson Wentz. It was a play-action boot, naked boot, and he just didn't fall for it, which was awesome. 2 hurries and only 39 snaps. So he got some production out of what he did, but we'll see. Now, he made $794,000 last year off of his rookie deal. 4-year, $4.084 million deal, so we'll see how that pans out. Played in 4 games. Now, look at the depth chart. Okay, you got 3 locks, and these are ice cold. Your number 1 defensive end's Bosa. Number 2, Leonard Floyd. Number 3, Yetur Gross-Matos. After that, man, who knows? Drake Jackson's pup. He's going to be out for the first month of the season, guaranteed. They said he will not be back during training camp. Probably not going to be back till after that either. Now, according to the rotations at training camp, Austin Bryant and Sam Ekwonu are the next tier guys. Those are your 4 or 5 defensive ends right now. Then after that, it's probably Alex Barrett, who's been with the Niners forever, and then Robert Beal. They're not handing Robert Beal anything. He's got to earn it. Now, whenever and if you go back and listen to one of the other defensive end countdown videos before training camp started, I had Robert Beal as one of the locks, and I still think that he makes this roster, but I had Robert Beal Jr. ahead of Austin Bryant, ahead of Sam Ekwonu. That is not evidenced in the rotation that is taking place in camp. Austin Bryant and Sam Ekwonu are way ahead of Robert Beal Jr. at our current thing. So, yeah, he's 28 on our list, but that was right after free agency and the draft. Trading camp alters things. Now, I can't go back through and change the whole 91 series. We still got 27 to go after this, but it's a wait-and-see approach. And, the redshirt year philosophy kind of gets extended into 2 redshirt years. The gray shirt, if you college football, you know what's going on there. It might be year 2 to figure it out. And again, kind of the same logic that we apply to the rookies, maybe after the bye week. We'll see. Now, the one thing I will say is the 49ers will rotate that defensive end position. That is a philosophical trait that is core to the 49ers system and how they build. So Robert Beal Jr., even though he might be defensive end 4, 5, or 6, he's going to get snaps if he is healthy because we got nobody else. Usually they keep 5 or 6. If they keep 5 or 6, well, he's making it as that 5th or 6th guy. We'll see what happens. So I like Robert Beal. I like the potential. Need to see a little bit of development outside of just straight line speed and length. But preseason is where we're going to see that. That is where his time to earn more playing time will take place. So come on, Robert Beal Jr., let's go get it. We're all excited to have you. You're Josh's favorite. Came in at 28, pretty high on our list. Hopefully he can prove us right.